and welcome to AAOL Esports for tonight's game against TG Deadlock versus That's Toxic. I'm Melodicey and I'm here with Scarecrow in the casting seat. How you doing tonight, Scarecrow?
I will admit I'm a bit tired and nervous because it's my first time, but I'm so pumped to be here and ready to watch this match. Also pick up some tips and tricks from the healers, to be honest.
It's going to be a very good game. These guys seem to be very evenly matched. And of course we're starting off on Ilios now. Would appear that we are starting on well. Hopefully we'll see some very interesting compositions here.
The CG Deadlocks, I think it is, running a Sombra, which I have personally, in my experience of competitive, I've never really seen anyone run a Sombra in comp unless they're super confident. But like, this is different in comp. This is an actual like league and everything. And what rank are these guys? Do you know?
I believe that most of
Everything can be had.
is around
So many targets,
Platinum
so
Masters.
little time.
Unsure about That's Toxic. I would assume that they're very close. I'd be willing to bet that they're both around that sort of skill level, so that's why it should be a good game.
Yeah.
And as to the Sombra pick, I think the Sombra pick's always a good pick here on this map, especially when a lot of teams tend to run dive.
Well, like dive is a pretty usual run for King of the Hill.
Yeah, it's also good to see that we're not seeing your standard dive comp. For example, on the side of TG Deadlock, we're seeing the pharmacy come out, and on the side of TG, the side of that source, we're seeing the McCree, which should be interesting.
I think they're going to be spending a lot of time trying to counter each other, the McCree and Farah. That was a big boop. The Duke is out of the way, and that's like a lot less map control, would you say?
Yeah, That's Toxic has set himself up quite well there with the Orisa shield to probably take this first point.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Chronic on the far is trying to hide away in the corner, trying to get some big damage through both.
Yeah, that's the thing with fire on this map. It's really hard to get the good sightlines where you're getting the big damage and not exposing yourself to any snipers, especially when they've got a good hit scan like McCree on the field. The last thing you want to be doing is feeding McCree and getting picked off. And we'll see that McCree actually fall quite low there. And there's the
Social Sucks gets it. Deadlock without the res?
Oh, there's a big environmental kill from the Orisa coming out there. Tranquillo with the very well time. And that'll be a good hold there. Good team fight from that Toxic.
Sorry, just give me a sec. I'm trying to find the player list so I know who I'm talking about.
You can see it on top of your screen. We will see TG Deadlock coming in with a few ults. They've got the sound barrier, they've got the Sombra, and they should have the Winston.
There goes the Sombra.
Although the Sombra's going to get picked up.
I think if anything, TG Deadlock don't actually have that many ults, and here comes the Hanu.
Oh, that is a big kill.
That's a 4. 3.5. Oh, there you go. 4. Block miss killed us. Block killed himself.
Yeah, it fell into the well there. I'm not sure what happened. I think that was just a misplay.
They've got a touch pretty much now.
Yeah, it looks like we might see a first point to That's Toxic here.
No cap. Oh, Winston jumping on point. There goes off the EMP. That's what I was concerned about, the Lucio coming out from That's Toxic. Block miss always. Oh, there you go. Chronic dead. Is this gonna be point, or are they gonna be able to cap it back?
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very tough for TG Deadlock to hold this.
I think this is point. Yeah, there you go. There's the Demon Aid confirmed point. No,
Still got the Ryan on Lucio.
Lucio.
He's holding that for the overtime, but it doesn't look like he'll hold that. And there goes the first point to That's Toxic. Really good positioning coming out from that Toxic in that. They held really, really strong behind the Orisa shield.
They basically just played the corner and did really well in that fight. I wonder if Deadlock's just thinking, do we change up the team comp? Do we not? Do we just, what are we going to do? They have switched up. They have switched up to Zarya.
Yeah, it looks like they will run the standard Zarya. Looks like they might actually be switching it to Goats, which would be good to see coming out of TG Deadlock there. Very, very strong on this point.
This will be fun. See, I can't ever get anyone coordinated enough to play Goat run 2-2-2 from where I'm from. They're all moving towards point. Pretty, would you say slow as it's good quick pace, fast pace?
It's kind of, without the Lucio boost, it's kind of hard to get in there quickly, especially when you're trying to stay as a cohesive unit. That's Toxic is doing very well at holding back that Goats, not letting anyone get picked.
Ringo is playing the Sombra was being chased by I think that's point. So Ringo is just pestering him with the hacks behind.
Yeah, that'll be a nice easy pickup on the point there. They'll look at regrouping back on the point and waiting up the next team fight. Although we do see Cash with the Hanzo Dragons, that can be very, very game defining in terms of up against Goats, where they're all sticking quite close together.
Definitely, and Ringo's getting close to his ult, so there goes off a Hammer Slash, and there goes the EMP.
Not seeing too many picks come out, but it looks to be in the favor of TG at the moment. They will hold that point after that team fight.
That's Toxic do have, they've still got 2 ults up above. The Zarya ult is being held for something like that?
Out comes the Dragons, doesn't look like it's going to do much. It has split off the Moira on the side of Goats.
There comes out the Lucio ult.
Looks like they might flip the point here. That'll do.
I think it's at the moment Deadlock just got point? No, they were holding point a minute ago. They were doing a lot better this round than they were last round.
Yeah, they seem to be playing a lot better on the Goats comp. It just seems to work a little bit better for them than what they were trying to do last. Oh, that's an unfortunate shatter for Slade there. He's only got the one.
That's gone.
Big Riptire from Ringo. He's picked up 3. That'll be a fail to that push. They'll have to go back and regroup.
Whenever I hear a Riptire in game, I always get scared, and that's what just happened. Deadlock had no clue.
On a map like this, it's really hard to see where the Riptire is going to come from. There's so many angles that it can come from. It's such an open map.
They're going up for another push, Deadlock. Oh, there comes out the Zarya. 1, that's 2. Are they going to be able to pull it off? That's 4 down.
That'll be the point.
And they didn't really, they don't really have any ult coming at the moment. However, that was only 2 ults. It wasn't like 20.
Yeah, but they're also coming in with, that's Toxic's also coming in with 3, nearly 4 ults. So they could quite easily win this team fight.
So Tronic on Deadlock just got his ult. There he goes.
Currently 5v5, 1 pick apiece. We do see that monkey going in hard.
And here comes the Taya again.
Taya's not effective. But the Mercy did get the res off, so that's a good advantage to That's Toxic.
Briggs coming back from Max Uppercut's coming back. Are they going to be able to hold?
I don't think so. I think this is going to be a switch here.
Oh, here comes out another ult. That was a very fast ult.
Bad timing, unfortunately.
There's 4. I think this is a hold.
They might take this. We might see a map 3 on Ilios. Looks like we will.
We're switching over to Lighthouse now.
Yeah, we will see Lighthouse here.
Always get scared of Lighthouse because if you don't play your corners right, Lucio can come up behind you and just you're gone.
I think we're gonna see That's Toxic probably switch to goats on this map, and it looks like that's what they've done. So we'll see goats versus goats here. Goats is really beneficial on this map because you do see a lot of close quarters battles, especially for the point. When the point is so enclosed like that, it's hard to get the long angles for a lot of the hit scan characters. So you'll see goats quite common on this point.
Definitely, and I'm excited to see what the Lucios do if they're gonna stay with their team or try to get him behind. Try and get a couple boots off cliff, but they've all come down main, so I don't think anything's gonna be happening.
And you can see here that That's Toxic has picked up the superior positioning in regards to this. They're closer to the point. When the point unlocks, they can just fall back onto it.
However, well, Ryan almost got smashed down there for That's Toxic, and he's gone.
And they've knocked the Zarya as well, so that's a good advantage to to TG Deadlock. They will take this point.
My ultimate is charging.
Just wondering what's going through the That's Toxic voice chat right now. They're just thinking we had that, but we don't have it anymore.
And that's the thing with goats versus goats. It can quite easily turn that quickly. If you get the big shatters, the big grabs, these fights will turn very quickly.
Not too sure why she dashed in stun there, but anyway. Here comes out the Moira ult by they're on fire?
Oh,
that was both.
big shatter, big shatter.
I think he's Deadlock are gonna lose it. Oh, there goes the Diva Bomb. Finding its mark on 2 of the healers. That is a 3 though. Are they gonna have enough to trade points here? There's 2 of that's yeah, no, I don't think they were able to find their mark there with the point.
And that's the thing with a lot of these goats fights. It seems to be 1v1, one pick on one side, one pick on the other, and it's just a war of attrition as to who can get the picks first.
Definitely, dude.
We can see here at the moment that That's Toxic does have the ult advantage in regards to having the Brigida ult as well as the Lucio ult.
Definitely.
With that extra rally armor, it makes a huge difference, especially in such a war of attrition in regards to goats v goats.
Deadlock does have a grab, and there goes off the shatter. Where did that
Was
grab
a
go?
big shatter too. I believe looks like the grab was eaten by the Diva.
Oh, rip. That's the brick down. Max is down. What are they going to do? Are they going to keep on fighting or fall on point?
They'll fight this. They'll fight this as long as they can get that into that overtime, so that they only need that one team fight.
Both Moira ults going off. There is another fat shatter getting 2. And Divalon did find his mark. It's very trade 1, lose 1, and here comes in the rally by Max uppercut. Ocean's finding 2 kills and a grab. Max getting a kill, Mop-Up getting a kill. It's just Ryan. Is Ryan going to be able to get a point for this overtime? No, he isn't. And the first round goes to TG Deadlock.
Very, very close first map there. Some very big plays from both sides. We're seeing big tires. We're seeing big Diva ultimates. It's been very close. None of the team fights have been big team fights where we're seeing big clear outs. It's very sort of war of attrition style Overwatch, which is really entertaining to watch.
I believe That's Toxic yet to pick the match. Or oh, someone just got traded in. Max Uppercut just traded for Hinterland, I think it is.
Sort of interesting to see what the next map that comes out here.
I wonder which map Toxic are going to choose. I don't know particularly on what they are in the map list. Oh.
I guess we will see that soon. Just going over some of the highlights here. There's some big plays. That Brigida is just going nuts with that flail.
It also builds up very quickly.
I'd like to see in the next map probably some more dive comps, something other than goats. I mean, goats is entertaining in itself, but it gets a little bit repetitive to watch, I guess.
Definitely, and like it all depends because if you get like one of the healers in a tank down, you've got the point. Sometimes, however, we did see here it didn't go down straight away in a couple of those fights. But I'm excited to see what the next map is. It looks to be Route 66.
Route 66 is a great map to watch. It's very entertaining because we get to see a lot of those, especially the first point, see a lot of Widowmaker, a lot of McCree, a lot of those big hit scan characters.
Definitely, and also holding the top of is it? It's not diner, is it? It's a
That'll be gas station.
yeah. I've always seen like when everyone's panicking and they want to really hold this point, you always pull out the Bastion, but I don't know if they'll be pulling out a Bastion here.
It's also normally quite interesting to see how the attacking team goes coming around under that walkway and coming around in front of the gas station there. It's always a big point. If you can get around those first two bends and get to that first point, it can make a huge difference. It can either take you 60 seconds or it can put you into overtime, and that can be
Definitely.
sort of end up being the catalyst for whether you win or lose this map.
Definitely, and you don't really see many fights up until you get around under the first corner. Like around the first corner is when most of the fights happen, and like that leading point is basically just free capway.
That's right, especially up until that walkway. Once you sort of start moving the cart around that bend, that's when you see the big team fights come out.
Definitely, and we're going to see Ringo Stars on the Sombra again, which is going to be interesting to see what he's going to do. Try to get a hack on a shield or a backline somehow. And Hinterland did get subbed in for Max Uppercut, and he is playing Mercy.
It's a very interesting comp coming out on the side of TG Deadlock. It's not a standard comp that you'd see on attack on this map.
Definitely, and was there a Torb in there, or did they switch to Orisa quickly?
I think that was a bit of a donkey pig to start the game.
Definitely. Ringo is moving around the back again, and it's going to be interesting to see where he goes.
And yeah, as you were saying, as you can see here, that first bit of capture, or that first bit of payload movement is basically just free push. As you can see here, that TG Deadlock is set up on the high ground, up on that gas station. Going to take the high ground advantage and hopefully get a few picks.
They're even running a past gas station. They really want to just hold on top of gas station and see how far it goes. There is a pick from Cash on Slade. Oh, Slade goes res. They don't have res for 28 seconds, I think it is, from memory.
Yeah, the cooldown on res is about 28 seconds, I believe.
Oh, Cash is going behind him.
We should be seeing TG Deadlock dropping down soon to engage this team fight, or they're just getting free percentage here.
Cash
But it doesn't look
got
like they can.
the Junkrat, and Neofire's got Hinterland, so that's a Mercy down. I
That'll be
think
quite an easy first point.
that's Toxic getting first point within like a minute and a half.
That gives them a lot of time to get through this big open area, past the salon, past the into into the next checkpoint.
Definitely. And it looks to be dive comp being held for defense by TG Deadlock. Here comes a there you
Oh,
go.
that is a big fire strike to get rid of that tire. Cash with another big pick there on the Mercy.
He's just using
Fire.
his arrows in there and catching them.
Not looking good for TG Deadlock here. They've lost they've lost the Diva mech. They've lost the Diva now. They've lost the Wink now.
Zenyatta's trying to escape. Mop up? Oh, there you go. He's hiding, doesn't know what to do. Yeah, he's gone. There's been a very steamrolling match again, first point like last time, where That's Toxic just kind of steamrolled their way through the first gate. Ringo is coming up behind. I'm just having to see what he'll do on the Sombra.
We do see some swaps there from TG Deadlock though. They've swapped to the Genji and the Lucio. Hopefully this will bring them some good results.
Here comes a Tacfire is finding a mark on one. Intronix picking up another kill on Ringo. So where's the bomb coming? This is a hold with 0.37 meters. That's one way to hold.
Yeah, and it was kind of a must hold because if they had lost that point there, that would have been a big time bank to get that third point. We do see Ringo Starr, he's still in that backline, he's still annoying those DPS.
I don't know if Ringo will be changing. Be excited to see if he does, but he's just causing trouble for the backline. They can't really, they're splitting their focus.
And that's really, really good against this TG Deadlock comp because they're not focusing, they're getting picked apart. And that's basically the Sombra's job in this comp.
Yeah, just to be annoying on the backline, just causing trouble. We're back on point again. I just realized they're running as Ryan Zarya, which is very powerful at the moment. Oh, is Ryan going to be able to charge ult here?
Interesting nano coming out onto the Zarya. It looks to have paid off as they will pick up this point.
Definitely, and a high-powered Zarya is a scary thing, and when she gets nano, it's even scarier.
And as you can see here, that Zarya, block mist on that Zarya is making the most of it, pushing up, putting the pressure on the defense so that their backline can push that cut up and get that free percentage.
Definitely.
Looks like we've got a battle of the Titans here with...
Here comes out an ult, and there's two ults out for the Toxic, whatever it is.
And it's interesting to see Toxic playing so aggressively, pushing up so far into that defense, and it's paying off for them as they've been pretty much uncontested in that push from the second point.
Slade didn't really find any kills with that Shatter, and here comes out the Lucio drop. So Sombra is a very big counter to Lucio's drop, or any shield hero really, because her EMP can just wipe that out instantaneously. And from what I know, Sombra builds her ult a lot quicker than what a Lucio does, so it's always ready there.
Especially with what Ringo's doing here, where he's pushing into that backline, getting the hacks on the supports, getting the hacks on the DPS, getting that poke damage. It's really paying off for him in how quickly he's charging that ult.
Definitely.
We'll see Mop-Hop get picked off here. That's going to be really, really bad for the defense. They need that Lucio in there with that healing.
They did trade for cash though, so it is a 5v5, though Neo just went down. I'm excited seeing Maze being played and Tronic's just gone down to Slays. I think this is point for
There's a two-man in that grab. Can they do anything with it though? Looks like the Moira's here to save the day with that big last.
I think this is point for that Toxic, unless they can get on quickly. Oh, here comes out a Dragon Blade. Is anything gonna happen?
Oh, the Dragon Blade is shut down by that big grab.
That was a beautiful grab.
That is a very, very quick completion for That's Toxic. It'll be very hard to see TG Deadlock beat that.
Definitely.
Minute 53 in the time bank. I mean, it's certainly doable. It's certainly possible for TG Deadlock to push up and equalize that or do better, but they're going to have to pull out all the stops here. I do believe we will see TG Deadlock bring out the your standard dive composition with the Genji and the Sombra doing pretty much what That's Toxic has just done, with the exception of that Genji, which Tronic is just, he is an incredible Genji. When he goes off, man, very, very good.
I'd like to say Block Miss just popped off on Zarya. She wasn't really countered or challenged there, really. She just kept on building charge and pushing and getting kills. And that grab was definitely a pain.
A lot of very quick grabs coming out there too, and we'll see That's Toxic sticking with that Ryan Zarya composition. Although now they're running with what appears to be McCree Junkrat, which works quite well on this map because Junkrat has all these vantage points where he can throw his mines over, get that poke damage, build his ults up, get those big tires.
You know that isn't
Definitely.
the kind of hacking I do, right?
He's about to go look through people's stats, but they're all. He's gonna go look at caches, and he's like, "No, I'm on private."
Yeah, the joys of those private profiles.
Makes me very mad. You're just too scared to show your Mercy main, but you know, this might just be me.
Be interesting to see where That's Toxic sets up here, especially with this comp. You'd expect them to set up under the walkway. They may play more aggressive, but it looks like they'll stick around that walkway just so that they're not. It's much easier to pigeonhole and choke off that initial push from TG Deadlock.
We are gonna see Neo on the Sombra. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's kind of run around, but maybe he's just trying to find a hack. And there you go. Again, it's getting through that choke very quickly. It's around the corner. Tronic going down.
Very low there, very, very low. He was the anti by the Ana, and yeah, he'll get picked up.
They didn't get that far around the corner, unfortunately.
That'll definitely be a regroup there for TG Deadlock. They're gonna have to repush, come back, think that again.
Neo's behind again, trying to cause trouble, but I think Junkrat's just waiting for him. Ringo's like, I see another Sombra on attack. You're not gonna win. Oh, Rio's just deep cloak looking for this Ana.
See you later.
Actively choke.
And that's the thing with the comp That's Toxic is running. It's really hard to be effective as that Sombra.
Payload is on its way.
Ringo will pick up Slade with that tire. We will see them hold this point again.
Definitely, and I think That's Toxic is running kind of like a very CC sort of team with the Reinhardt just being able to like hold off points with his shield. The ult from Zarya is very CC, and just Junkrat and McCree just stop the point, and they definitely stop the Sombra.
They do definitely make it hard for Neo to get anything productive done in that backline, especially when you've got the threat of that McCree there with the flashbang. If he gets a flashbang off on the Sombra, it's a good night. We'll see a Dragon Blade come out here from Tronic. Let's see what he can get done with it.
Oh, here comes off a shatter. Is it going to find a mark though? That's the first hack I've heard all game. And here comes a grab.
Oh, big grab.
Finds its mark. Oh, that was a hack and a half. Cash unable to pop his ult, which here comes the tire again.
Looks like Deadlock might be able to finally do something here, but
I think they can. It's just Block Miss versus Slade. Is it the Zarya or the Winston? What's he gonna do? But
looks like Slade's gonna play it safe and back off.
I think like 3 or 4 ults were popped there, maybe 5.
We have seen
the economy of both teams is very low.
We have also seen Tronic swap up to that McCree, trying to counter the big backline presence that That's Toxic has.
Definitely, and I think after this ult, I'd probably switch to Sombra if I was captain or something. I think Sombra isn't really doing much. In big team fights, she's finding hacks, however, she is getting picked off pretty damn easily. when they're not on point.
It's hard to make use of a Sombra when you've got the threat of that Brigida, the Junkrat, the McCree, and that backline that can just pick you off so incredibly easy.
Definitely.
This will be the last team fight coming out from TG Deadlock. 13 seconds on the clock, they're going to need to make something happen. Slade will get picked up quite easily by that big Zarya from Glock Mist. And Ringo with the 3-man tire. Looks like that is a good night for TG.
Scared of every time I play. And here comes a grab. Overtime. No, there's no way they're going to get it. And this goes to TG Deck. No, not Deadlock. That's toxic.
That is a big hold for That's Toxic. Very, very well played. And they were in control for that entire map. They played so well on attack, moving as a unit, getting those picks with the Hanzo and then capitalizing on them.
Definitely.
It's just incredible to see the difference when you have two very similar comps and they're running, both teams are running very similar comps, but when you've got one team that works together and meshes and communicates effectively, how much more they can achieve.
Definitely. And I'm just looking at Twitch chat and it goes that someone just said Cash Daddy Mercy Main Slaughterfest after I said, is he hiding as the Mercy Main? It's always great to go watch Twitch chat and what they do.
And you never know, he might be a Mercy main.
He's playing hit scan and that sort of thing, and he's actually just top 500 Mercy. You never know.
Hey, later maps we might see that Battle Mercy come out.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
Despite the fact that That's Toxic took that map very convincingly, it has still been a very close game. TG Deadlock picking up the first map, so we're at 1-1 now.
Mop Hop has been subbed out for Oceans, I think. Oh no, Max Uppercut, sorry.
Yeah, we'll see Max Uppercut back in. Looks like our next map should be Hanamura, which is very, very interesting. Big choke. Very, very hard to get through that choke, and the entire map sort of swings on that first choke. You either get the big hold or you lose the first point.
Definitely. I've got a couple friends watching and they're going, oh, Deadlock should have got a Widow. That sort of thing. It's interesting to watch. I think I'm lagging a little bit. It'll be alright. Hanamura, what do you think? Good map?
Hanamura is a very, very interesting map in the sense that there's not that many ways you can play it. You've either got to muscle your way through that choke or dive right over the top of it.
I think you're right. And I had a match the other day where basically they were all holding on the high ground and we just dived through choke, dive on point. So I think it's also trading at that choke. You either got to jump through or you got to leave. Just hold it, because this choke it's too hard to get through the window, and it's just one walkway. Whereas a lot of other maps have different ways you can get around the choke.
And the other thing with this first part here is that it's very all or nothing. You're pushing through that choke, and you either go hard or you just sort of lose out. You can't push into this half-assed, because if you don't commit everything you have to pushing through that choke, the defense will just pick you off.
Definitely. We are going to be seeing the Sombra again out by Ringo. Max Uppercut did get swapped in for Pop, and he will be on the DPS.
I think what we're
seeing.
seeing.
Excited to see a Doomfist come out at some point in this series.
I think what we're seeing here from That's Toxic is comfort picks. They seem to know this Ryan Zarya combo with with the Hanzo and the Sombra. It seems to be what they're comfortable with, and it's working for them. So I can't see why they'd switch off it.
Definitely, and we've seen Social Socks on the Ana, or pretty much all three of these maps, so it'll be good.
Attackers incoming.
Interesting coming out from the defense here from TG Deadlock. We're seeing what appears to be an almost dive composition.
Definitely. Oh, yeah, pretty much his dive. You've got both tanks. So, is Ana counted as dive? Is she not? That's a question for another day. Or now, if you want to Twitch that, go crazy.
Well, we're seeing Toxic sort of hanging around in that choke there, hoping. Looks like they're hoping to get a pick before they move in. I don't know if that's why.
Yeah, and Ringo just found a hack on the Winston. Deadlock are running the Pharah Mercy combo, but it's not all the time because Mercy has to run off to heal other people. So Baby Diva and Sombra are trying to have a fight here. It's quite funny. Who's gonna win, Baby Diva or Sombra?
My bet's on the Baby Diva. Baby Diva always.
They are very distant from point or from choke here. So if that's Toxic wanted to, they could just poise choke straight away. But they're back here, so I'm not too sure. Just waiting for that first pick, you know.
Also very staggered. We will see Ringo swapping out to the Reaper. That could be a very interesting pick here. Cash will get that pick on the tire. Very, very nice.
But here comes two ults. That traded 1-for-1. The push for points going through. Slade's down. That's one of your tanks down and a healer. However, Max is finding a kill on the McCree. And Ocean's on their backline arm.
It's also interesting to see that's Toxic seems to stick with nano boosting the Zarya.
Definitely.
Looks like TG Deadlock's gonna try and make a hold here. I don't know how well it's gonna go. They've only got Oceans on the point on that Diva.
That was a full charge to Zarya. I would be scared. But if I was a Zarya, I'd be like, oh, I'm full charge, I'm ready to push something. Someone just got antied in there. I think this is a lost cause for Deadlock.
I don't think Deadlock's gonna have enough to hold it. Looks like that's Toxic's gonna pick up this first point with about a minute left on the clock.
Max finding a quick kill on Cash, however, I don't think he's going to be able to gain anything from it, just trading kills. And Max is down, so they could push point very quickly now and hopefully get it. However, they do have the McCree coming back from spawn. Don't you just hate it when you get the far back spawn on these types of maps? It's like, no, you could have moved me to the new one, not the other one.
Looks like that's Toxic's gonna go the far right push. Very grouped up, they're working very well as a team here.
In my personal opinion, I think Toxic's going to win, but Deadlock are definitely putting up a good fight. It all just comes down to the hit scan type table, the McCree versus Hanzo, who's going to gain with their ults, who's going to find a pick.
Toxic has the big ult advantage here. They've got 5 ults to play with. We're seeing 2 come out straight away. Reaper's not going to get anything with his.
Max did find a kill, however, there is 3 of Deadlock down. Yeah,
Once again, we're going to...
Tronic's caught again. Poor man, he's probably sitting there. Every time I down in Blade, I get caught in an ult.
And once again, we're seeing that big nano boosted Zarya just cause that havoc.
Definitely. Keitalan's been doing a lot of work on Mercy. I think the only time she's died is when she's been caught out from her team. And here comes the... Oh, no, that's not going to find anything. Got pooped away by Oceans.
Well, you did get your wish there at the end. We did see Tronic switch to that Doomfist, although he did get immediately pinged, which is what should happen to every Doomfist.
Doom is a great character. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm a support main. I'm really biased against Doomfist.
that makes two of us. Two supports main casting. How bad could this end up?
Very biased. Very, very biased.
Ringo is going to be playing a Widow for defense here, and Cash is going to be on the Reaper. It'll be interesting to see what will happen here. I'm wondering why Cash has been playing a lot of hit scan, so he isn't on the Widow, but you never know.
Reaper can be very, very effective here on this first point, especially coming up against what looks like that's Toxic. He's sort of predicting that Deadlock is going to run the goats, and that's where Reaper shines, getting those, getting the big shots on those big beefy tanks, building his ult really quickly, bringing down those shields.
Definitely, and even just finding like a stray kill here and there, or just stray bits of damage, which leads to his ult, which you can do a lot of work with if you can get one or two of the shield tanks down there. But I would be worried as Reaper with the Brig, because Brig is just a death. She's just a curse, to be honest. She's heaps of fun to play, but she's just a curse for anyone else that's fighting it. That shield bash is broken, man.
Those big stuns do tend to stop pushes in their tracks, but let's see how Deadlock goes here with this Goats comp pushing in through this choke here. Looks like they're gonna...
mixes and matches here.
Looks like Deadlock's gonna play it quite passively. They're not gonna go hard and push in with that Lucio, the Lucio boost, which is what you see a lot of Goats comps do. They'll aim to push quickly in through that choke.
So there's the biggest problem for Goats going down. So I think they're going to try push point here. And here comes out the ult to back them up.
Meanwhile, Ringo getting a big headshot on Max.
Not finding anything else because Moira shut him down.
We can see a very, very quick first point here.
Definitely a lot quicker than the last one, which is like a 3-minute hold.
Deadlock will pick up that first point very, very quickly. 2 minutes 45-ish left on the clock. Doesn't look like that's Toxic's even going to try and defend against that. I'm curious as to whether or not we'll see any switches from Deadlock on this point.
So I thought we were in like a minute of like overtime. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at something else. Back to the They're pushing in quite fast again, faster than Toxic did. But there comes out the Nano.
That is a big, big grab, but can they capitalize on it? Doesn't look like they'll get any picks from it.
Cash pulling out with an ult, finding two. I think Deadlock's just gonna have to pull out.
We may see some switches here from Deadlock. They may switch up from that Goat's call. They need to counter that Reaper.
Are they though? I think definitely Cash has been the man of the match. Finding just those most weirdest angles with his Hanzo and finding kills has just been very useful towards. That's Toxic.
Yeah, you're right. He has played a big part in both attack and defense. So we'll see some. We will see a slight change up for Deadlock. We've got a Barra coming out.
All systems checked out.
Who is currently taking a nap.
Here comes that Junkrat tire again.
Ringo won't get anything.
Need healing. Ejecting. Get back.
TG Deadlock is looking very separated here. Very, very unorganized. They need to get it together. Get that. Work as a unit. Push in there on that point.
Cash pulling out an ult, but he wasn't able to get anything off it.
I'm not sure what he was trying to achieve there. It's way back in the back.
Just gonna dance around in the back line, and there is a res up from near fire on Cash. They are pulling back. Are they going to be switching up comps here?
I don't think we'll see a switch. They've. Oh no! Here we go. We've got a McCree. So it looks like they're going to switch to the standard 2-2-2. Ryan Zarya
they're holding. That's Toxic are holding high ground again, and I'm not too sure what Ryan's is doing. Are they splitting? Oh no, Max is just trying to get an angle somewhere else.
That's
He
a
comes
big
out of grab, are they going to be able to capitalize off it? That Junkrat's just on point being annoying. Are they going to be able to find a tick here? Oh, here comes a stun from Reinhardt. On the other Reinhardt. So Cash is on this high ground. Oh, he just fell down.
Once again, we see him block with that big nano. He's a bit of an impenetrable wall once he's got that nano. It looks like Deadlock is too scared of him to do anything about it.
Definitely.
I mean, I'd be scared if a big glowy Zarya came running at me too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting scared of Block Mist. It's just like always there, with a nano or without a nano, just being annoying to the whole team.
And he's always right up there in the front, causing havoc, and that's a sign of a good Zarya getting up in there, getting those nanos, getting those big high charge kills. Looks like we're seeing another.
We're seeing Slade change to the monkey.
Slade does tend to favour the monkey a lot. He's very big on dive.
Oh, Cash just lost his ult there. And here comes a rocket. Not going to be able to capitalize on that.
They're currently 2-all, but there's Naya on fire again with that big res on Cash.
Definitely. But I think what Deadlock are doing here is they're just struggling to find like a single pick on someone really important, like Cash, Block Mist, or Fire, and that's Toxic are just capitalizing on that. They're just doing that. Everyone's dancing around a point. That's Toxic are focusing people. Well, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I agree. And although we could see that change now, Deadlock is coming in with 3 ults. We've got the big High Noon, we've got the Sound Barrier, and we've got the Mercy.
And Ringo is like somehow countering his counter. Oh, here comes the ult. Finding a kill on Ringo. What are they going to do here with the Nano Zarya again? Max dying, and Ocean's losing his mech.
The problem seems to be with Deadlock is that they're very split up. Once that team fight started, they both sides of the team went their separate ways, and they're not sort of capitalizing and picking that target and getting those pickoffs.
Definitely.
It's a bit of a shame though, because Deadlock had such a huge time advantage, and it's all gone out the window.
I hope they can find this point.
Mercy and the Reiter.
Did they win the first point? Like first map, sorry?
Yeah, it's currently 1-all.
Yeah.
And there, Ringo will pick up Slade. That's that push just cancelled. They cannot push him with that Winston.
They've got one more push in them. Oh, Hinter just used a res. However, Hinter is not going to have res to push the rest of this point. It's a 28-second cooldown, which won't be till like the middle of that dragon. Ripperoo.
Ocean's will
going
pick up
in
Ringo.
again.
Let's see what...
Social Fox is down. Are they going to be able to find it? Mercy's just being bullied. So Mercy's popping a res on Social Fox.
Hopefully we can see a nice big High Noon from Tronic when he gets it. That'll definitely change the tide of this.
Come on, guys. You guys do it. Tronic finding a kill on Block Mist. Could this be that all their problems gone?
I don't think they're going to be able to take this one, especially with that Toxic having that huge advantage in terms of respawns.
Definitely. And Max just got thrown off the high ground by Cash. Even though Cash is nanoed, Mr. still finding his targets.
Looks like Deadlock's just delaying the inevitable here. They cannot break through that Toxic's front line.
Mercy's trying to... Oh, here comes the battle, Mercy. Is she going to be able to do it? Oh, I don't think so.
That will be map 3 to That's Toxic. they're just looking really, really strong. They're working well together as a team. They're making all the right calls, picking the right targets. Make it very hard for Deadlock.
This was definitely a good ult from Hinterland. He came in and just healed, did bits of damage. This is what they got this is what got them first point. I wish he'd stayed on the Moira. I reckon they would have been able to get second point from that.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the Moira's very, very influential in team fights, especially once you get that big ult coming up. So tell me, what characters do you play?
I play a lot of healer. Like 80% of my time is spent healer. I do enjoy a bit of memes here and there with like Torbjorn and Sim, but I mostly spend a lot of time in Ana, Zenyatta, and Mercy.
Nice, nice. Very similar here. I like to play those main supports.
It's fun.
Yeah. Can be very rewarding too.
I always end up playing like the support roles in a lot of game because I'm not like super coordinated to hit those shots on hit scans, that sort of thing. I'm just like I enjoy playing support mode, so I may as well just play it.
See, I like playing characters like Widow, McCree, those nice fun hit scan heroes, get those big headshots. But the problem is, I can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, it's interesting because I watch my friends play or my brother play, and it's like, how do you hit those shots? He's like, I just do.
I guess it takes just a lot of practice. And it looks like we'll be seeing Hollywood as a fourth map.
Fourth and final map, I believe. And I'm a little confused here. The names are changing? What's going on here?
It doesn't look like there's been. Looks like we might see a sub from Deadlock. Looks like Max Uppercut is getting subbed out for Mop Hop again.
And Hinterland's being subbed out for Neo. It's interesting. Do you think maybe the reason they're losing the matches is because they're subbing out like that, or is it just maybe they're not communicating very well?
I guess it depends. Surely they have a reason or some sort of reasoning for swapping out those players. Perhaps there's strengths or weaknesses that they're trying to play around.
Definitely.
But I guess we'll see in this map. We'll be seeing That's Toxic attacking first. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. We'll just wait for them all spawn in, then you'll see. I think them having the sub players coming in and out might be a little bit of the reason, whereas That's Toxic has had the same team running. Also could be for however long they were warming up their beautiful voices for communication.
Looks like we will see Deadlock attacking first. I do apologize for that. I was around the wrong way. And once again, we're seeing that same tried and tested comp from That's Toxic, that Ryan Zarya with the Hanzo and the Junkrat. And why not? They do it so well.
They do. I love just seeing Social Sock sitting in the background, just healing, trying to throw a sleep dart in here and there, and the anti-nade every now and then, but like building up very quickly and just throwing it onto Block Mist. And Block Mist is just like, I'm going to run in and do a whole lot of damage and then come out with my ult ready for whenever next push happens.
Oh, we will see Tronic on that Doomfist. This should be interesting.
Oh, I'm excited. Doomy Boy's coming out.
What I would like to see is a big Block Mist Cash ult combo. Get that big Dragon Wipe. Early pick there on Slade. Cash getting that headshot. That'll definitely.
And we're going to see Neo on the Sombra. There seems to be a little bit of a common here on the payload map, because you can just kind of, as Sombra, get into the back line and just bully everyone.
Tronic not finding much, getting picked off there by Block Mist.
Here I am.
Trying to come up against that big Zarya. It's very hard to get as Doomfist.
Translocating.
We go get a nice.
Finding kill on Mop Hop. Here comes the old. Oh, going for the honor. No chance of defending that. What's Neo doing?
Looks like Neo is trying to do some... trying to get that ult charge. But I'm not sure why. He's right in the middle there and he's going to get picked up quite easily. I'm not sure what he's doing there because that's putting a big stagger on the team. They're going to be coming in here with 5.
My ultimate is almost
We'd like to see Deadlock make a bit of a show here. Get in, get that push, get that first point, and we can see them take that payload.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing we haven't been talking about a lot is the ult economy. Because if you look at That's Toxic, they have 5 ults sitting there waiting to be used, and there comes out one of them.
And that's a big grab there. They've held Tronic, who had the nano boost there.
Yeah, and Slade did just find 2 kills, but he did get taken down by his enemy Reinhardt, Tranquil.
Who is now taking a nap on the road. Come on, Reinhardt,
that looks
get
like
up.
a good nap. At least it's not the road at Oasis, because that's just a dangerous road. Unlike here.
So do you think we'll see some switches coming out from the side of Deadlock to try and push this point?
To be honest, from what I've seen, they're very not much. They're not like playing a couple odd heroes like the Sombra and Doom. However, I don't think they're going to be switching anytime.
It's quite a different comp. Oh, we see a grab and the Doomfist coming and cleaning up too.
So they just traded 2 for 2. I saw Slade going, do I want to hit that Nano Reinhardt? And he did. Ending himself. Oh, there comes out the Nano again. They're going in. Are they going to be able to get his point?
I think they might take it here. Looks like they will. Slade cleaning up on Tranquillo.
And I think Ringo and Mister coming. Are they going to be able to get all spawns here? I think they are. They're going to find all the spawns at this close one, not having to walk back from the studio.
And that's a surprisingly big advantage, especially here on Hollywood. There's such a huge difference between that first spawn and that second spawn.
Yeah, just the walk distance, and that just lets them push a lot further. Tronic on the Pharah, switching from the Doom Boy. It'd be interesting to see how much healing Tronic gets, seeing that we have a Lucio and an Ano. Ano can hit a Pharah in the air, but it'd be interesting to see.
Although they did have a Lucio, he has since been picked off. 2 picks each.
3 and 2 for both sides. Tronic's just doing bits of damage here. And I wonder how well Tronic played before the new update came out with the you basically have to hit your target straight away.
It certainly makes Pharah a lot more interesting because she can be a lot more effective in the right hands.
Definitely. Can we get a hit scan Pharah? Pharah with a Widow Sniper, can we please see that?
Hero 29, please.
Yes, a flying Widow.
We already have that though.
And here comes down the hammer down. Not really finding any kills, but Mop Hop getting wiped off there.
Looks like Toxic will hold this point. Deadlock is going to have to regroup pretty quickly. They don't have a lot of time. They're only going to have a few big pushes left in them.
They probably got about 2 pushes, give or take.
Especially where the cart's currently situated, they got a bit of a walk back. So once they get regrouped and once they get back in there, they need to make the most out of those pushes.
Yeah. What's Neo doing? I kind of feel like Neo's kind of throwing, but he's just not being very useful to his team. I've only really seen 1 EMP out of him this whole match.
Yeah, he just seems to be positioning himself in the wrong spot. Oh, Tronic will come out.
And a Nano on the Tronic. Mop Pop getting picked off by McCree.
But Tronic did pick up 3 there. We could see the tide turn here.
Oh, Slade. Oh, Slade, have you done it?
Doesn't look like they're going to get much with that push. And they've used a lot of ultimates to get back within. Although at the same time, Toxic did use 3 ults of their own.
And Toxic does not have a res, so if they were to push now, it would be just walk back from storms. No res is up. And it is basically a 1-to-1 ult.
Damage
So
increased. Healing stream engaged.
that's Toxic do seem to be a little bit closer. Oh, here comes the EMP. Is that going to be able to do work?
He did catch quite a few in that EMP. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Well, the EMP's really worn off, so it's you EMP someone, you've got to go hunting. So Blockmas get do and is getting. Nah, I think that's Toxic at this point.
Say ah.
You are right. Toxic will get a big hold just before point 2. Like I was saying earlier, they do seem to be a lot more focused, a lot more composed when it comes to defending.
Definitely. I'm excited to see if, yeah, there you go. Ringo's on the Sombra again. Ringo seems to like his Sombra and Junkrat.
Let's see if he can have a little bit more effect than what
Neo did.
Yeah, that's right. Neo he just seemed to be really poorly positioned. He was getting picked off by Cash quite often. Like you said, there was only sort of 1, maybe 2 EMPs there that had any sort of effect, and they're just not capitalizing on it. Perhaps they need to look at some other option instead of the Sombra.
Definitely, or just working together with a Sombra. However, we are going to see goats from Toxic, and no, it's not really. We're going to see the standard 2-2-2 from Deadlock.
Yep, but we will see goats from Toxic.
I'm excited to see how this goes. Tronic is playing McCree again, and in that last fight of Hanamura, even though they didn't get points, Tronic did do a lot of work on the McCree.
Yeah, he did, and he also was very effective just before on the Pharah. That nano boosted ult got him 3 kills, but unfortunately his team couldn't capitalize on it and they lost.
I am excited to see Naya on fire on the Moira, because I think on the last map they did a lot of work on Moira, or it could have been Hinterland, I'm not too sure.
Looks like they're going to push in hard, go right onto that point, get up in their faces, try and get those kills.
Definitely. Trading 1-to-1 here. See what else happens in this round.
Those poor bricks getting murdered.
Was looking low a minute ago. Tranquilo is low, but he's getting healed up now.
Block will get the pick on Neo, so they've lost a DPS there.
Neo is down, and Slade is with the nano. Not too sure why he's moving back. Couldn't find anyone with that hammer down. Trying to get a switch here, but Tronic's coming around with thing, finding a mech. It's not much to do wrong, but
and in the
meantime, all the same.
In the meantime, Ringo's going to pick up 2, and that will give them the point. Once again, a very, very comprehensive point. They're just so convincing when they push in there. They push in there, and they push them back, and they're just taking it so easily.
Social Sox is standing on point, and we're going to see the Hanzo pulled out here on Cash again.
Well, I don't know about you, but Cash has a new fan. Some of those Hanzo picks he's getting are really, really good to see.
Here comes finding 2.
Yeah, but at the same time he will lose his life. We will see a couple of picks here from.
Yeah.
That'll be a
Deadlock,
good hold there.
that was a very good hold by Deadlock. Is Ringo gonna switch, or is he gonna hold out the ult? No, Ringo's gonna switch. He's off on Widow. Maybe trying to find a pick on someone like the Pharah.
We'll also see Blockmist switching up to that Zarya, which he seems to really, really love. So they're going back to a much more sort of standard comp to what they've been running tonight.
The standard 2-2-2 we've seen a lot of tonight, except that first point where it was basically just ghosts for most of it. Social Sock's finding a kill on Neo.
Ringo.
Still going down, and Ringo finding a shot off on Tronic. Are they going to be able to make anything off that?
Looks like Toxic will clean up here. They've
Optimus finding 2 kills there. I think this is point.
Yeah, I honestly don't think Deadlock can get back here to
Oh,
contest
Neo
this. Although
getting-
Neo,
Nah. That is. I think Deadlock wins the series, right?
that is
Oh, no,
that's so.
Toxic wins the series.
Yeah, Toxic takes a series 3-1, quite convincingly too. That first map was quite close. After that, it was all downhill for Deadlock, unfortunately.
I think Neo did do a lot more work on that Junkrat than he did the Sombra. Anyway, I think it was exciting to see the Sombra comps come out.
It was good to see the Sombra comps, and I think we'll see a lot more Sombra in high level play, especially with how she's shaping up in the meta, especially coming into our season 2. I think we'll see a lot of Sombra, a lot more Doomfist too.
I'm excited for the Dooms.
I'm excited for our season 2 in general.
Definitely.
And looks like we're wrapping things up here. That is a very convincing win by That's Toxic.
It was really exciting to watch and commentate, and I think we're wrapping it up here. Thanks for coming down and watching the game, guys. Enjoy your afternoons.
Yeah, you'll have a good night. It was an absolute pleasure casting with you tonight, Scarecrow, and we'll definitely have to do it again.
Yeah, I'll be excited whenever I next get put on.